sometimes people ask me how I find speakers, and in this case, for the first speaker, my girlfriend put me on to this one. Megan, thank you, appreciate it. So she sent me this video of people flying over the East River. Has anyone seen this video? Okay, so some hands. Well, in the first week that this video went online, there were 7 million views of this video. And so I started looking into who was behind it, and there was this company called ThinkModo. And I started looking further into it, and they did a guerrilla marketing campaign for a movie where they hacked all the screens in Times Square, and at the same time, and which is an incredible feat, and maybe we'll hear more about that. And but my personal favorite was a guilty pleasure is that occasionally I'll watch Tosh.0. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that, but has anyone seen the Razor helmet? Okay, the concept is, you know what? I'm not even going to get into it. You can I'll leave it to your imaginations. But one of the masterminds behind all of these genius and outrageous guerrilla marketing campaigns is James Percelay, and he's here for us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. I've always wanted a career where I could say, kids, don't try this at home. And I have finally arrived. I have a company called ThinkModo. We are a viral video, social marketing boutique in a bunker in lower Manhattan, deep in the ground. My partner, Michael Krivicka, and I specialize in media mayhem for very respectable companies. And we have a real unique philosophy. We see the convergence, as do all of you, between the web, television, and how media is changing. And for us, that's a playground. We are digital delinquents who just like to have fun and to screw with New York City, which is our canvas. What we do is kind of simple, but unique. And we really create question marks. Typical advertising and messaging has a beginning, a middle, and an end. We do the beginning part, the middle part, but oftentimes we leave out the end. And if we do have an end, we put in a question mark versus a period. And what that does is it engages audiences, it brings people to the message rather than pushing messages to the people. You start to fire more neurons when you have to look into something and find what it means or who's behind it. And it's way more effective, way more interesting. And it also treats the audience really as a peer as opposed to just a recipient. They're kind of a participant in the process. So the first video I'm going to show you is for a project that we did for Hearst. They created something called Cosmo for Guys. It's an iPad-only app, and it's designed for men to better understand women because it's written totally by women. So we met with the CEO, actually it was the president of Hearst Magazines and the editor-in-chief of Cosmo. It's funny because we always end up meeting with these people who are either the presidents or they run the place because nobody else in the companies know what to do with us. So we always, end up in some sort of boardroom with some long mahogany table in our jeans doing a pitch. So they said to us, listen, we've got this idea, and what we want you to do is, we have an app, and we have women who create content. We want this app to offer guys a way to get inside their heads. So as is our process, we left and we went out for a cup of coffee, took out a napkin, and within about 15 or 20 minutes, we came up with the idea, well, let's see, iPad app, girl, inside her head, let's make her head into an iPad. So if we could show the first video, you get a sense of how we translate the core message for an advertiser in this case into something that's really engaging. So we have two approaches when we make these videos. There's either an unbranded version where it's a complete hoax and nobody knows what it's for. We reach critical mass with the media as well as audiences, and then we have a reveal video which connects the two. In this case, we call this kind of a hybrid branded video where at the end you see the app, but people still have to look into it further to find out what it's for. Our manifesto is we never do CGI, no computer graphics, everything we do is real, it's all mechanical. In this case, the video we actually shot with an iPad 4 times as she was walking and popped those iPads into a frame, and that's how we got that look. Now, the question is this effective? And the next video we're going to show you is a case study for a video that we did for a company called Extend Play. This company is a small company who makes a gizmo that you attach to controllers for video games to make them more playable. They didn't have a lot of money for a big media buy, so they came to us and we said, listen, we can get you media if you're willing to let us make something provocative. And so what we did was we staged allegedly a new trend in New York, which was a naked gaming party. And the idea was that in New York, all these people are starting to play video games without clothes because they want to be unencumbered by anything but they're focused on the game. And we're going to show you the case study to see how effective this was for this company.
Strange new social trend seems to be taking hold in New York. It's a bizarre get-together where computer game enthusiasts converge for some console combat.
Parce qu'il y a un mais. C'est une soirée où tout le monde est tout nu, et oui. Jetzt habe ich ein paar neue solche Gamer-Partys gefunden. Ich komme sicher wieder.
L'ultima idea folle, giocare tutti nudi ai videogiochi.
Supuestamente en Nueva York lo último son las fiestas de consolas.
Well, no, they're all looking in the right direction. They're all looking at their scores.
Game over.
Game over.
So this kind of leaves the question, what is going on here? And what's going on is that the walls between art and commerce and media and social media are all down. And this is a one big conversation between all sorts of sources. And we are fueling this conversation by creating something online, which is our platform, and then offering it to both audiences as well as the media for really interesting content and conversations. What was effective for these guys was, of course, that they did get this big exposure and they did get the big sales. But for my partner and I, we are filmmakers and writers and consider ourselves artists more than anything else. We have no advertising backgrounds, we're not marketing guys, and that's sort of why what we're doing is a little bit different and why actually ad agencies are calling us because we And when I say we, our international headquarters is comprised of two people. Whereas the agencies, it would probably take a room full of people, I hope nobody's here from an ad agency, but typically a room full of people like this to create what Michael and I do. We even shoot these videos with our iPhones. It's really, the look is very calculated to be kind of this handheld, user-generated feel, which enables the connection between the audience to be much better. We'll see how we're doing for time. I'm going to show our latest project, which is for the movie Chronicle. You should all see it. It's extremely cool. It's about 3 teenagers who get superpowers, and one of their superpowers is that they can fly. Ultimately, in the movie, you'll see that they have a lot of trouble handling their newfound powers, and it does not go well for them, which is part of the reason the movie's kind of cool. But again, they came to us as studio. They lock us in a room with numbered scripts, and we read them, and then we go out for our cup of coffee and take about 15 minutes and come up with an idea. In this case, we thought the core was these 3 flying teens. It also happens to be in the poster, which is at the end of the video to make that connection. And in this case, the evolution of viral videos is such that they have gone from doing a hoax to actually creating something where everybody knows, almost like a magic show, that you know it's not real, but then people are really enjoying the process of trying to figure out how they did it, who it was for, and just the whole inside story. So we decided with this video, why don't we show the inside story and the final result and let people enjoy the whole process. So if we could play the Chronicle video. We are in the enviable position. We're a really new company. We're not even a year old. And we really have probably turned down more work than we've taken because there is a certain DNA to making something go viral, and we really love this for the art of it, as well as the fact that we're in business, and we don't like to do junk, and we like to do things that are kind of cool or have cool clients, and this was certainly one of them. On the commerce side, 20th Century Fox anticipated this film would open to maybe 8 million or so in the box office, and it tripled that number, and we were pretty much the only campaign, so I think it resonated. We also like the fact that New York was pretty cool about it. I think on YouTube we have something like 32,000 likes and maybe about 500 dislikes. So it's important to us that it's not only cool, but people really like it, and that makes us smile. I could show one more, or yeah. One of the earlier videos we did, which is for another film, is Adam. You have one more on that. Yeah. We did a film called a promo for a film called In Time. I'm sorry, not In Time. Limitless, with Bradley Cooper and Robert De Niro, about smart pills and about intelligence. So we created this metaphor where the guy was so smart that he was actually able to overtake the screens in Times Square.
Go for it.
Okay, that device you see plugged into the iPhone, that's my video transmitter. Now this is my video repeater. Basically it takes any video signal coming out of the iPhone and it boosts it, it enhances it. And I can take over any other video signal that I want that I put this close to. So what we're filming on the iPhone right now, I'm going to put on one of these screens. I'm going to give you a demonstration of how this works. Good? Yeah?
Yeah, got it.
All right.
So who knows how we did that? All right, well, we, again, with our little manifesto, we never do computer-generated effects. We actually bought the screen time, and we had pre-recorded that clip, so it ran 60 times on the iPhone. We had 60 chances at $13,000 for that 1 hour to sync it up, and in the 45-minute mark, we got it right. The transmitter was built with about $8 worth of parts from Radio Shack that we did on my kitchen table to make it look like it was a gizmo. And in their infinite wisdom, the New York Transit Authority and other sources contacted all the sign and screen companies in Times Square to alert them to the fact that there were 2 hackers loose, and to beware of the security on their screens when this piece of crap is plugged into the headphone jack on an iPhone. So when you get warnings from New York City, think twice about the people behind it. So I think we'll kind of open it up to questions, I guess, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll open it up to questions. Who's got questions? Pete.
Any other questions?
Just the question was permitting for the flying people.
Let me say this, that New York is where we live and work, and we do our best to respect all the laws in New York City, and we sometimes walk a line between art and sticking with the law.
Next question.
I'll just say that we didn't do anything to endanger anybody, and nobody got hurt in the making of that video.
Question.
What client you wish you're hoping for and not on your door?
You know, it's a good question. I think the fact that we have so many film studios approaching us, I think that's, for us, something that when we started, we would not have, expected, and they are actually dream clients because they have such interesting content, and they have a short time frame, and there's little indecision. I don't know, but that's a good question. I haven't thought of it, but we sort of like who's coming our way already. In fact, we are getting a lot of people from around the world, and we got a call from a big high-tech company in Israel, and the guy said, I don't know if you know this, but you guys are heroes in Israel. And I'm thinking, this is the country that created the virus, that made the centrifuges go out of control. What is it, the stuntnet in Iran, the country that puts magnets.
That hasn't been confirmed.
But it hasn't been. They put magnets on the cars of the scientists and blow them up. And so these guys like to screw around, and I got a feeling that may be the simpatico. But we definitely are resonating around the world, not only in the US, because I think the mentality in this country is more playful, and people like that.
There's a question.
Yeah, how do you guarantee your clients that that this product will go viral?
What we do is we never guarantee.
How do you guarantee your clients that the project will go viral?
Also a great question. And the first thing that we say is we don't guarantee nothing. And what we do though is we have, these videos, you don't just put it on the internet and pray. The content has to be there, the video has to be exciting, but we have media relationships, and we will let one or two outlets know what we're doing, and they are usually the ones that pour gasoline on the fire to make it spread. And this is a relationship with the media. We can't have any control over what they say, but we can introduce it to them and give them the opportunity, and that's really the accelerant that makes these things work.
Gareth?
How do you get paid? Is it as a consequence, do you get paid for your time, or do you get paid for how successful the campaigns are?
Well, free movie tickets.
Do you need some management?
Actually, we probably do. Had we done it on a per-click basis, we would be very wealthy. We're not complaining about the flat fees that we get, but that's, smarter people than us would have negotiated better than we. All our clients end up getting far more in free earned media than they pay us, which is what it should be, but that's something that has not crossed our minds before.
I have a question. The video that was seen 7 million times in 1 week, was that the final one, or was it the flying people?
They're one and the same. Yeah, the flying people.
It's on the same video, or you're counting both of them in the 7 million?
Oh no, that's the flying people is now. There was 7 million just on YouTube, and people, they take your video and they embed it on their own sites, So, which is fine with us because it still promotes the movie, but it doesn't get counted. Plus, that was picked up by CNN, The Today Show, BBC Worldwide, and on and on. So we anticipate that was seen by maybe or going into probably about 300 million homes worldwide.
More people than saw the film.
Maybe,
Perhaps.
Maybe.
But how many people actually saw it live? That was my question.
How many people saw it live? I would say probably maybe 20.
That's a good return. That's a good return. Okay, anyway, we're going to go to the next.
Okay.
But thank you so much.
It was my pleasure.
Really, thank you.